Wasted at 9 a.m. in the morning, drunk when the sun comes up, now I'm lonely. Wasted at 9 a.m. in the morning, drunk.
Hey, how is it going, my Vibe Tribe? My name is Parker. I'm back with another reaction video. Today we got Japanese history. I'm gonna be jumping back into history now. I've taken a little break from it, gone to music, but I'm hopping back into history for a second because I just miss the community. The history community is really dope, honestly. Everybody's really chill. So I'm jumping back into history. I wanted to do some Asian history because I have none on my channel besides like one video where Russia fought Japan, but like that wasn't just Japan, so that's not really like enough about them. So I'm gonna do some Japanese history. That's why I typed in. A lot of this looks really interesting to me, but I don't have an absolute ton of time tonight, so I'm just gonna watch this one. It's the shortest one. And if you guys like these videos, you've seen these too, let me know which one to watch. You know, if you see anything here that you're interested in me watching, let me know. But I think for now, this looks like it's only 9 minutes, which is kind of strange because a lot of those were like an hour long, and this just says history of Japan, so I don't know how you're going to do that in 9 minutes. But we're here to learn, we're here to find out. We're jumping back into history, starting with Japan. Let's go.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's...
I have no audio. Alright, attempt number 2. I have audio this time, so let's check out the history of Japan.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful.
Ooh.
In the year -1 billion, Japan might not have been here. In the year -40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walk to it. Then
So the year -40,000, that's like the start of Japan, like literally when the land mass was formed. Got it.
got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees.
Oh, okay, so all of that was connected. Icebergs melt, water goes up, now it's not up.
Because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like stones and bowls.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to pause this as much as I want to because there's so much I want to talk about. Because this is really fast paced, but man, this is so good already. It's only been 24 seconds. He's already done so much.
Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms. Now you can make a lot of rice really, really quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king.
Okay.
Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land, all the way to here. The most important kingdoms were here, 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 and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or emperor for short.
I wish I was paying attention to the time frame. Let me know what time frame this is when the first emperor is here, the first heavenly superperson, because I might want to look at, more into that as I'm learning about Japanese history. So just let me know what this time frame is titled in history.
Knock knock, get the door. It's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Biekt. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules that came with it. Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more. Hi, China, they said. Hi, dipshit, said China. Can you call us something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about Sunrise Land, said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north, finally. Get that squared away. A rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China, and learns a better version, which is more spiritual. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be great for a long time. And the royal palace turned into such a dream world of art that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai.
Ooh.
Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai. The samurai became organized.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. So are they like mercenaries at that point? Not like an actual government? Or are they actually the government at that point?
Organized and powerful. More powerful than the government. So they made their own military government. Here. They let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control.
Okay, so military leader, I guess religious leader at that point? Religious figurehead? I mean, that's not too strange if you consider a lot of European countries probably at the same time had some sort of clergy and then some sort of actual military, which might have been separate or might not have been. But I guess that just depends on the country. Well, okay, so new government.
Breaking news. The Mongols have invaded China.
We've invaded China,
said the Mongols.
Please
Okay.
respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again,
Nice.
and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows...
Oh, going too fast here. 2 tornadoes in a row? Two tornadoes killed the Mongols? How? I feel like that's crazy. Is there a lot of tornadoes in that section of the world coming down through here on the southwestern side?
Throws him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine.
Now there's more art.
Like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's
Okay.
kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid. So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a
Okay.
kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The
So that's just the kind of classical dual power problem with 2 people saying that they're the heir to the throne or whatever.
shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local
my
power.
goodness.
And it's anybody's game. Knock knock, it's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some
Okay.
shit, like clocks, and guns, and Jesus. So that's cool, but everyone's still fighting each other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one controlling them?
Interesting.
This clan is ready to make a run for it, but first they have to trample this smaller clan, which is in the way.
Okay.
Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital.
There you
And
go.
it goes very well. He's about halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him kills them, and that guy finishes conquering Japan. And then he confiscated everybody's swords, and made some rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea, and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the 5 guys said, yeah, right, it's not going to be this kid, it's going to be one of us, because we're grown-ups. And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others. A lot of people
Wait, was that younger Trump? Interesting.
support him, but a lot of people support not supporting him. They have a fight, and he wins, and starts a new government, right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor, and have very nice things. But don't get confused, this is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they close the country. No one can leave, and no one can come in. Except for the Dutch, if they want to buy and sell shit, but they have to do it right here. Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read, books were published, there was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows, and Dutch studies. People started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time,
Wow, yeah, those are some very, very, I guess at that point, enlightening subjects and very important still today.
the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down.
Oh no.
Knock knock. It's the United States, with huge boats, with guns. Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed.
That sounds exactly like what we would say. God damn it.
Said the United States. There was really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want. Choshu and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they said. This sucks. And with
Yeah.
almost very little outside
Yeah,
help,
I can
they
see
overthrew the
that.
shogunate
I
and
can see
somehow
why.
made the emperor again and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what
Ooh.
else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what
Oh, did that just say British Empire? Hold on, that's something I've covered a lot. Is that what that said?
was pretty Western? And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about this a good bit. Holy crap, Britain. I know I've already talked about this a lot, so I'm not just down too much, but it's just ridiculous.
So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China, and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says, "Stop, no, you can't take that. We were going to build a railroad through here to try to get some warm water." And Russia builds their railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the railroad was done, they downgraded to a fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And
Okay, I feel like that sounds like a pretty Russian thing to do here, but are they... the only other video I've done about Japan is the video about them warring with Russia. Is that about to happen?
Japan says, can you maybe chill? And Russia says, how about maybe you chill? Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop. It's time for World War I.
Ooh,
the world is about to have a war
1914.
because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy.
Yeah.
And all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on it by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass.
Shot him? I thought this all started... Wait, is there more to this? Because I thought if this is the beginning, Serbia to Austria-Hungary, and then Austria-Hungary to Russia, France to Russia, Germany to France, all this shit. I thought he got blown up or something. I thought that was the assassination, not shot.
Or actually shot him in the head. And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Sorry. I'm gonna go back a little bit because that was a whole lot, and I cut it off like right in the middle. But I thought he got blown up. Maybe I'm
Germany, which just had war declared on it by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually shot him in the head. And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh. Japan should take the islands.
God, I can't believe that came all the way back around. I mean, I guess, of course it did. That's why he lined it up that way. It makes sense, but all that shit just to get to why Japan invades
Which they wanted to do
the
anyway,
islands.
so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know. And then they did it. And they also helped Britain a little here and there with some errands and stuff. Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan. You technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what.
God,
And
there's
yes,
so
Japan
much
gets to
U.S.
keep all
and
that shit they stole from Germany.
Britain in that.
You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission statement is to try not to take over the world. The
Okay.
Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. In the League of Nations, it's like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said, how about I do anyway? And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've got mail.
Oh,
It's from Germany,
that's a
the
lot.
new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache, and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends. This also got forwarded to Italy. They all
So is this setting up for World War II
decided
then?
to be friends because they had so much in common. It's time for World War II. Germany
Hey,
was
I know
invading
some
the neighbors. Then they
history.
invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors, who happened to be Britain, said, holy shit. And the United States
Yep.
started helping Britain because they are good friends, and started
Yep.
not helping Japan because they're friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean. The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb, ever, just in case. But they still haven't joined the war. War looks bad on TV, and the United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them
Oh,
to
yep,
war.
yep,
And they say yes.
okay.
And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and
Yes.
they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany. And they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet, and are curious to see if it works. So they drop it on Japan.
Ooh, yeah.
They actually drop two.
What was it, 3 days later? Something like that? 2 days later? Damn. I mean, I respect that he slowed down the video for this part, you know, like it's going so fast. And this is the first pause in anything that I've seen so far, I think. So, I mean, props on that. But, I think I saw when he was talking about the atom bomb, he flashed the swastika up there to show that, to indicate that we were making the atom bomb in case for Germany, like he said, just in case. I didn't really know that. I thought, I guess because we used it on Japan, I thought it was intended for Japan, but I guess it made sense if it was originally made for the Nazis, and then we just, since they surrendered, we shifted our attention. But, damn. Yeah, I respect they slowed it down for this part, though.
The United States
Yeah.
installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders as fast as they can, and also
Damn.
better than everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess. Bye.
Oh, it's over. Okay. Okay, that was insane. That was so much. Oh. I hope I made sense in all the things that I talked about in that, because that was just, I was trying to keep up. But, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want me to see next. I'm hopping back into history. Of course, I showed a couple of videos that were suggested in the front page at the beginning of the video, so you can let me know about those, or if you have a different Japanese history video you want me to watch, let me know what it is. And also, let me know about any history you want me to see. It doesn't have to be about Japan, of course. I'm just trying to broaden my knowledge on the world through the scope and eyes of the people who live on it, not just through traditional literature, which I also respect and want to keep pursuing. But, you know, these videos are really interesting to me, especially hearing how it's taught in different countries, like all the different events that are happening here. As I look further into them, I want to hear the way that it's presented to the people in the country that it's talking about, you know, because I feel like it'll be different, and I'm really curious to see those differences and kind of look into which side of the story is more true on specific events, get a lot of information that way. But that's it for me, y'all. I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Love y'all. Vibes never die.
All we got is a bag in the backseat. And it's love we share, not shabby at all. But the fact is we moving too fast.